Good morning. Hello. It's 8:03. What have you been up to the last 3 minutes? As I've settled, as I've moved furniture around to keep my computer dry, to come into the warmth of my heart while the snow falls around. It's the day before Valentine's Day, or it's a beautiful day that begins again anew. And it's both of those days in this morning practice that we come together. To be together, to join in circle, to remember that we're here together on this earth making magic. So I hope that you find this practice this morning to be a way of connecting to your heart. And I'm going to just double check. My technology, as I am known to do, says it's working. But I'm not seeing any sound on the screen. So if you are the kind of person who joins the circle, good morning, Robert. If you would give another thumbs up or a wave or a signal that the mic is working fine, I'd be most grateful. One of those, hit that like button or something like that. And as you join in, here I am in New England. I was on this porch yesterday making some video invitations because it was 60 degrees and the grass was green. And now it's snowing. So breathe in clearly and breathe out clearly. And let me know that you can hear me by hitting that like button. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you come in to the sacred circle, into the moment of breath, as we work with love today and connecting to love. So breathe in, feel that joyful place of love, and maybe it's outside of you, and maybe it's inside of you, and maybe you can hear the sound of the birds as you breathe. And maybe you can hear the sound of your own breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale long and slow, and exhale longer and slower. This practice began as a celebration of connection, of a way to connect to the divine, to love, to experience an extension of love, an expansion of love. And for me, whether I subscribe to some people call it a Hallmark holiday, a Valentine's Day, and yes, it was named after a Valentine's Day massacre. And now, at my age and stage, and just turned 56, oh my gosh, I forgot. In that stage of this part of my life, the massacre is when we most need to share love. So whatever this week, this time, this month is for you, this practice, this Sunday practice, is an invitation to connect to your heart and to remember, to practice love until you remember that you are love. And you know that in your heart and your being. Breathe in, breathe out. In your next inhale, imagine that you could inhale into the heart space of you and take a seat there. Sit in your heart. Whoops. Sit in your heart. Feel that energy in your heart and expand the energy of your heart bigger through your whole body. Your heart is so much more than a pump. It magnetizes experiences to you. It's the seat of your soul. It also sends out vibrations of gratitude or love, compassion, appreciation. So you're taking up residency as you come into the space today in your heart with your breath and your attention. So, are you sitting in your heart? Can you hear me now? If you're sitting in your heart and you can feel that rhythmic connection, go ahead and hit that little heart button. So I know that you hear me and that you hear and feel and expand in your heart. Breathe into that space, breathing into your heart. Feel that energy of your heart. Thank you for letting me know that you've taken up residency in your heart. Now, as you're inside the space of your heart, is it a cavern? Is it a temple? How does it feel inside there, in that heart space? Paint it purple, paint it pink, the colors of love and grace. Maybe it glows with the frequency of that vibration. And then feel that light and rhythm coming into your heart. And bloom a rose there, whatever color rose sings to you this morning. So you're sitting in the middle of the heart, and the rose blooms. Let's have it bloom in your heart, but in front of you where you sit in your heart. In that beautiful heart space, you bring a rose in. How did the rose bloom ever open its heart and give to this world all of its beauty? How did the rose ever open its heart and give to the world all of its beauty? What's happening with your rose and your heart? What do you feel coming in? What do you allow out on each exhale? The rose felt the encouragement of the light against its being. It is the light that calls us into blossom and bloom. How did the rose ever open its heart to give this world all of its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remain too frightened. Darkness is just the place where the light hasn't gotten in. Invite lightness in. Invite the press of the sun through the clouds. Each one of these snowflakes falling is in the Andean mysticism. The snow and the ice is the kiss of the sunlight, is starlight frozen into matter so that we can be nourished by the starlight, little crystals of light. So let each snowflake that falls be a reminder and a kiss on your being, on the press of that rose to bloom, to let light in. Bloom where you are as the rose blooms in your heart. Take a big breath into the rose and your heart. Exhale, root down into the ground. And then on your next inhale, that energy rises up from the earth and you feel the rose in your heart blooming ever wider. And as the rose blooms wide, you move yourself into the center of that blooming rose, and this rose moves into the center of your heart. So together, you take up residency in the center of your heart. Wide, blooming rose, seated in the center of the rose. And then notice the parts of you that still are longing for love. Maybe and as you take up residency in that rose, you feel the vibration of love, of knowing that the rose simply is the rose. She becomes the rose with all of her being and never wishes to be a daisy or a tulip or a pine tree. She's simply rose in all of her magic. So you feel that energy of a rose blooming. You allow that magic in and out. Feel that connection. to the way the rose opens just from the kiss of the light. And then bring love in there. How do you look at yourself? Do you see love in each eye? Do you allow that light that's in you to radiate out and reflect back at you? Can you back up far enough from your life and your vision or outside to see that you are the beauty sitting inside the rose of your heart? How do you see yourself? As those little snow crystals kiss your cheeks, your hair, do you feel the light coming in? Do you allow that backing up? Do you allow yourself to back up to see the bigger picture? To remember that you can walk forward onto the canvas, that each moment is a new beginning to bloom even brighter. And as we walk forward into this week, we walk into the beauty of the full moon and the expansion of the moon that supports us in releasing our light, in showing our light, and sharing the light of who we are and all that's possible. When we stand in the glory of our center and align our darkness with the light, we become full. So let's practice that moon language and admit that everyone you see, you say to them at some level, when we're not full, let's do it again. When we're not full, maybe we are admitting to everyone, to ourselves, and asking everyone we see to say, love me, when we don't fill our hearts. Of course, you don't say this out loud because someone would call the cops. Still, though, think about this, the great pull in us to connect. So this week, I invite you in this practice to become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye, always saying with that sweet moon language what every other eye is dying to hear. Love. Dying to feel. Dying to see love. In this gesture of being alive on the earth, we're living each moment fully or dying, living our last breath one day closer to, my friends used to say, of raising their kids one meal closer to college. And a time of change. I invite you to be present. Remember that we started in a rose. Come back into your heart. Feel that beauty living there. And then with that beauty living there, remember that we backed up or flew out. So on your next breath, inhale through your heart. Exhale, this time soar out the front door of your heart. Circle above where you are. Be one of the snowflakes falling down with grace and silence and magic. Each one its own beautiful crystalline structure that brings starlight into matter and kisses the earth with that starlight and holds it there in its frozen, beautiful form. That is you. You too are a child of the sun. So as you soar out of your heart and look at all these snowflakes creating a canvas for your day and your week to begin again anew, see and feel and notice the energy of love that is all around you, or the light that's ready to come bursting in to you. Go even higher. Give yourself that perspective of a 30,000-foot view. Rise, rise, rise. Take off soar, and remember who you are. And see and look and feel with a full moon in every eye, holding the light of the sun. Let it radiate out of you so that you can be the warmth when it's snowing, that you can receive that warmth and look down upon yourself as a radiant light, that people will be drawn to your warmth, that you are drawn to. Feel that love pouring in. Receive it over and over and over. With each breath, an inhale of love. Exhale gratitude. And then for the next minute, as we get close to closing the practice, breathe in from that expanded place. You're still soaring. Allow that love to, allow yourself to become like a cloud full of love, dropping crystals of love. In other words, dedicate your practice. Send love into some places or offer to someone who would love a hug today. Some place that could use a breath of the quiet of the morning. If you haven't closed your eyes for the practice, I've been so present with you that I haven't myself closed my eyes. Close your eyes now. Take one more circle, maybe tip a little bit to your left, and circle in that direction, a big round circle to your left from your heart, and then you come into your heart again in your energetic and tip to the right and circle to the right. A big infinite loop of love for that those ones that you are dedicating your practice. And then from that beautiful soaring place where snowflakes have kissed your cheeks, where you feel one with the light, come down from that 30,000 foot or cosmic view. Come down, down, down over the place that you rest this morning, over the yard, over the deck that I stand on, over the seat that you sit in. Circle, make a smaller infinite loop and tip for yourself, and balance your field by first tipping left and making a big circle around to the left side of you, and cross over in the middle, and then tip to the right and make that big right turning circle. Come back to your heart, and on your next inhale, soar into the front door of your heart. Take a seat there in that blooming rose of who you are. I dedicate this practice to the poets of my heart, love poems from God. I dedicate this practice to love, and I dedicate this practice to all of you who show up and share this practice with others that they love. With passion, pray. With passion, make love. With passion, eat and drink and dance and play. Why look like a dead fish in this ocean of God? With passion, pray. With passion, play and eat and dance and make love. Why look like a dead fish in this ocean of God? Breathe in that beautiful oceanic breath that we worked with last week. Bring your hands together, rub them in front of your heart. Feel that connection to your own heart. Notice how your heart has expanded in this practice. How much light has fallen and grown in your light body. How radiant you are. hope you exhaled by now. Rub your hands together again. Inhale deeply in your heart. Exhale, connection around the whole circle. Connect to all that is the natural world. Be in that circle of life today. Find the place of love in your heart. As you radiate that love out, allow the light to help you burst your rose into bloom. I send out waves of love. I've loved having you here. It's so beautiful to share this practice with you. You know what to do. If you like it, please share it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Invite your friends to subscribe so they get notices when we're here and when new meditations load. And if you are a Mesa carrier, I hope that you'll join me. Got one of these beautiful things that mine's bursting open with love, ready to join you. Come and join me for a Mesa retreat. It will be a beautiful event and a beautiful opportunity to retreat with your medicine and your magic. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. I love this beautiful lavender rose that shape-shifted into the colors of the rainbow to return to lavender. The colors and frequencies of love. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I love hearing from you, and I love sharing this practice and these sacred Sundays to honor the sun and the light within you, to connect in love. See you next time.